This is a disclaimer. I am not an electrician. If you have any question about your abilities to work with electricity, you should consult an expert. Alexa, turn on Fireplace.
Okay.
Hey YouTube, I've been thinking about how I could get my Amazon Echo Dot to control my fireplace. The fireplace is currently controlled by a remote that connects in here or a switch on the side of the fireplace. Both of those have leads that come in to this part of the unit here. And from what I've seen, basically there's a thermal pile which is right next to the pilot light, and when that gets heated up by the pilot light, it creates a millivolt voltage that supplies a constant voltage to these two leads. When the remote is triggered or when the switch is turned on, it actually disrupts that signal and the fireplace turns on. So wanted to see, how can I get my Amazon Alexa to turn on my fireplace? So the thermal pile is providing about 475 or so millivolts to the system, and the flame is off, and when I hit the switch, it drops those millivolts and the flame comes on. So the flame is on now, and if I hit the switch again to turn the flame off, you'll see the millivolts return. So Belkin used to have a product called the Maker, which would allow you to hook up low voltage appliances, such as this fireplace appliance, to it, but they've discontinued that. And so I was wondering if there was a way to use one of my old Wemos to do the same thing. Obviously, I can't just plug in directly from what would normally be a lamp or a fan directly into this, and so I need to have a lot lower voltage. And so what I'm going to try and use is I'm going to use an old USB charger. So this is just one that I had from some phone or something from a long time ago, and I basically just cut off the USB port, and I split the wires and found the positive and the negative, and put some tips on the end of it. So what I'm going to try to see is if there's a way to get this to hook up to that and get the voltage to drop, and thereby turning on the fireplace through the Belkin Wemo. So I have this Arduino kit that has a bunch of parts in it, and I was able to pull some of those parts and use a YouTube video to just find out how these relays actually will help me start my fireplace up. I took my cord and I plugged it in, and when I set this up, I'm able to simulate the fireplace being with the high millivolts here, and then when I turn on or add my power supply to it, if I flip the switch over here, it should shut that light off. So basically the Wemo is going to be doing what my finger is doing right here, turning it off, and the millivolts should return. Okay, so now I've got the relay hooked up directly, and what I did was I have a positive wire, or what was positive, coming into the common of the relay, and then I've got the negative coming to the output. Again, I've got my positive and negative from my power supply here, and the fireplace is off, but when I flip the switch, click, and the fire comes on. If I come back and turn this off, click, and the fire goes out. So the last step here is to plug in the Wemo. So I've now plugged that in, and again, everything is hooked up just the same as it was when I was using my finger. But now I've got the Wemo app here open on my phone. So if I hit this button, it should turn on the fireplace. So we'll listen for the click and the fire. Click and fire. And then to shut it off, it will be off. Okay, so the last step is to get Alexa hooked up to this Wemo one. Oh, she's listening.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. Take a look at the help section in your Alexa app.
Yeah, that could be a problem as well. I got to fix that too. But after I get that going, I should be able to use her to turn on and turn off the fireplace. Alexa, turn on Wemo 1.
Okay.
Alexa, turn off Wemo 1.
Okay.
So all that's left is to wire this up a little bit more permanently and get the relay switch kind of secured and isolated from anything that it might short out on, and it looks like I'm all ready to go. Thanks for watching.